podcast. Today I'm joined by the man behind President Obonjo, taking some time off from governing the Republic of Lafta, Benjamin Bello. Welcome to the show, Benjamin. How are you doing, mate?
Look, I am good. I'm good. I'm good. It's been a funny old weekend and funny old few days. As you know, I'm the man behind President Obonjo. Since Wednesday up till Sunday, it's been manic in terms of gigs. But what's really interesting is I gigged on Wednesday in Manchester, Thursday in Liverpool, Friday in Pina, Saturday, Milton Keynes, Sunday I was in the Isle of Wight.
Ooh,
and what's really interesting is over the weekend, someone put some money into my account, and it was a lot of money. And I mean, really a lot of money. And I'm saying, wow, I didn't know comedians get that kind of money. I was shocked about what came in. I just thought, wow, this is definitely not for me. Someone has made a mistake. This is for someone else. And it's for another comic who obviously must be really worried that they haven't got their payment. So I got in touch with the promoter and I basically said this morning, oh, look, I think you've made a mistake. This is not for me, but hello. And then I just realized he hasn't even booked me for a couple of months. So I jokingly said, I am an honest comic. I'm really honest. I'm going to give you back your money, but can you consider booking me? Let's just call it the honest spot, the honest spot. So the money has gone back, but I've heard nothing. So that clearly means that he doesn't like my act in any shape or form.
Or it means you're doing a residency somewhere for the next 6 months.
Yeah, but it's just really interesting how, because that's never happened to me before, but I have a conscience. And even if it was a life-changing money, there's no way I would have kept the money. But I know people would have. Some people would have. But I won't be able to sleep at night. That's why I don't think I'm ever going to be corrupt. I can never, ever be corrupt. Take other people's money. It was over the weekend, it was bugging me. Who gave me this money? Well, and then I found out, because you know when it comes into your account, if they don't do the reference is not in there straight away. Yeah. And I was wondering, what's going on here? Who, when, how? It's not my birthday. Who? Maybe it's a fan. Yeah, maybe someone has died, and they just decided, yeah, he's made me laugh for years. Let me send him some money, but that wasn't the case.
All right. Well, there we go. An honest comedian, fantastic. All right. So, of course, you're the man behind President Obonjo. And how long have you been doing Obonjo for now, Benjamin?
Obonjo, I've been doing him for well over 11 years. As you know, he's the comedy dictator, and he will continue. I genuinely think the dictator, President Obonjo, will eventually, he won't be written off. He will have to die on stage. He will either someone will shoot him, he will be assassinated, or he will just die on stage, because he's going to go on forever. There's no killing off the character. There's no killing off the presidency. It's for life. Unless there's a medical problem. Yeah.
Okay. And how did it all start? Because you were doing kind of regular, as they say. You weren't doing a character act before Obonjo, were you?
I was always doing a character act as President Obonjo, but I never did it as a military president. I did it as a civilian president, and it all started because my wife was attracted to Obama. My wife loved Obama, and it's as if she wanted to sleep with Obama. And then I decided, look, I remember I had a nickname called Obonjo. I'm originally from Nigeria, and when I heard that, I remember the nickname. I just thought, it looks like my wife is really into Obama. Every time he was on TV, it's like it's as if she wanted to sleep with Obama. So I thought the best way to save my marriage is for her to have a president at home, and one that wears a uniform. So that's how I created President Obonjo. Now, Obama is gone. Yeah, I'm still married. I saved my marriage. Obama is off the scene. And whenever she wants a president, I wear the uniform. We make love. Yeah, marriage saved.
And how many wives is it now?
President Obonjo has 6 wives. because he wants to have another one, but the doctor said he needs to rest on Sunday. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's some method there. All right. So what's been your high point with Obonjo?
I think for me, a couple of things. One is the fact that I went to Edinburgh in 2015, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just went in there blindly, and then 2 weeks or 3 days after arriving in Edinburgh, not even having an idea what Edinburgh looks like or how the system works, reviews and rave reviews about the president, and that was just fantastic because I just threw myself in, went in there blindly, not expecting. I didn't even know you had to have a reviewer. I had no idea who the audiences were going to be. There was just this buzz about the presidency. So that was great. The fact that I won the Malcolm Hadi Award in 2019, that was great. The fact that a major TV station tried to steal the character off me, that is an achievement because, as you know, they say that flattery is the best, imitation is the best flattery. And the fact that they tried to steal it off me, that was a highlight. The fact
maybe
that
that's where that money was from.
maybe that's just some compensation. Who knows? The fact that that I supported Regina D. Hunter in 2018, and I think finally, and I'm not bragging, I just feel that the character has developed a cult following amongst audiences, and it's well loved. It may well not be mainstream. It may well not be something that you see on TV, but for those who love comedy, they love to see the president. And so those are been the key things, and that's one of many reasons why the character will never ever die. Because even if I woke up one morning and said I'm killing off the character, I know there will be a protest. There will be people out there protesting, saying, "No, you can't do this to the president." Yeah.
But it's great. I mean, I see you on, obviously follow you on Instagram, and I see you're out there in the uniform, aren't you?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's rare to see you out of uniform, to be honest. And
yeah, I know, and that's one of many reasons why I've decided to write a show called "I Am Not President Obonjo," because quite a number of people just tend to see me even when I'm not in uniform, and they say President Obonjo. And in 2015, I did a show called President Obonjo Stole My Identity. So it was 45 minutes of myself, of the president in uniform, and 15 minutes of me revealing myself, taking off the uniform to say, I want my life back. This character is sleeping with my wife, raising my children, booking my gigs, driving my car all over the place. This is not really me, blah, 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 blah. And I think that was the beginning of a sense of wanting to perform as myself. But the difficulty I've had over the years is that promoters don't want to book me as me, apart from just one or two people. The others want President Obonjo. It's like people go in a state of panic when I arrive at a gig and I'm dressed like this, and the bag and the uniform is in the bag, and say, "Oh, where's President Obonjo? Wait, we booked President Obonjo. We didn't book you." So that, in a way, hurts. However, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that shows how successful the character has been. But recently, I have been thinking, wow, I am 56 years of age. I have so many stories to tell. And people haven't heard my story as Benjamin Bello. So I've pushed myself to say, I'm going to write a show, which is what I've done. And I'm, working on it, developing it, and just talk about myself. And obviously, because Obonjo, out of 56 years, has 11 years of my life has been President Obonjo. Of course, he will feature, but there are things that I need to say about myself that people haven't heard. And I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. People are going to be really pleasantly surprised. I think some people think I'm not going to be able to pull it off, that I'm just a one-trick pony, and all he does is President Obonjo, hides behind the uniform. But there's more to me than just,
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously, you've got Obonjo, that works, but I think it's great just to be able to, you can be yourself, or be another character, but you've still got Obonjo there, haven't you? Have you tried any other character acts?
No, even though, even when I speak, I've done a few, not necessarily at full length, but done 10, 15 minutes of myself, and I've had comedians come to me to say, "Oh, is that a new character?" But it's actually me. But they say, "Oh, is that a new character?" No, it's not a new character. It's me speaking. I mean, the last one I did was for someone called Lucien Jack. It was an open mic gig, and I went in there and started performing as myself. And an audience member recognized me and started screaming, "President Obonjo, President Obonjo." I said, "No, I am not President Obonjo. I'm not." So yeah, it's not another character. It's just me. But I know there are other characters. There are other characters that I could possibly develop that I don't necessarily want to reveal. But actually, look, it's not easy. When I say it's not easy, it's become easy to be able to perform in character. But there are, I think one of the things I've noticed about President Obonjo is that his comedy doesn't end on stage. There are people who want to interact with the president. So, for example, today I've gone on the fan page and I updated what happened about the money that had been received. And it's really interesting. The fans responded. One of them said, "Oh, if it was President Obonjo, or President Obonjo will definitely tell this man, no, the money is going to be kept. If not, he's going to go missing." But the creator of President Obonjo, I'm sure he's telling him, return the money, because, they're two different people. And it's just really interesting. So that just goes to show to me that you just, and obviously comedy has changed now. You have to be online interacting with your fans. I mean, yesterday, on my way back from a gig, I just wrote, I'm supposed to be, or rather, President Obonjo wrote on his fan page, I'm supposed to be at the COP26, summit. I'm not there because I'm now out of power. But all of a sudden, all my African leaders who were friends with President Obonjo, none of them have even called, and they're in the UK. None of them have actually called him. He can expect the Western leaders to ignore him, but where is all his African brothers and sisters who were supposed to have called him? None of them, because he's now out of power. Sorry, he wrote, and that was funny. He just said, "Guess what? 120 heads of states are out of their country. So President Obonjo is now talking to all the heads of the military in each of those countries to see what they can do for their people." So the comedy actually writes itself as well, So I will never ever give up doing that character, because the older I get, the more sense it makes for the dictator to continue, because dictators are older, aren't they? They're never young people. So
absolutely, they keep going, don't they?
They keep going, yeah.
So that makes sense. And I've seen you've done a lot of you've done Instagram lives, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done Instagram lives. I've not been very successful at Instagram lives, but I've been more successful on TikTok. I've got President Obonjo has well over 48,000 followers, and you'd expect young people who are on TikTok, because it's a younger demographic, to be fans of Justin Timberlake, not fans of a dictator. It's just crazy. And the beauty of it is that even when the president is talking to his fans live on TikTok, he tells them he's president, and they are saying to him that, "Oh, we find you really funny. How can you be president of a country?" And I said, go and Google, and Google will tell you that I'm a real president. So they go and Google, and Google definitely tells them that I'm a comedian. So they come back saying, "Oh, but Mr. President, they're saying you're a comedian, that, BBC tried to steal your character off you." I said, "Look, it's the Western media who are trying to make me to look like a comedy buffoon by actually planting stories that I'm a comedian. I'm not a comedian, I'm a president." So it's been wonderful to and obviously the pandemic is what forced me to start doing content. But I prefer to do the jokes live on stage. That's where the beauty of the character comes. And I'm still on TikTok, but I don't do as many TikTok lives, because obviously the live comedy has come back onto the scene. And it's been great.
Great stuff. All right. Now let's get on to the important matters at hand. So you're a proud Gooner.
Well, you see, what's really interesting, when you invited me to come and talk about Arsenal, I didn't want to reveal that this is going to be very, very odd, because I don't follow them like I used to. I'm from the Wenger era. Yeah, so
that's fine.
I fell out of love with Arsenal after Wenger left, and it's only just of recent when the black players in particular had problems with during the Euro stuff, and they missed the penalties, and the response that I fell back in love with some of the Arsenal players. But yeah, Arsenal is not the same as it used to be during the Wenger era, and it's almost like I'm stuck in that trap of the invisible era, the time Wenger was there. Even when he was not doing so well as a manager, I still loved watching Arsenal. But it'd be great to talk about Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, I think definitely the Wenger era, it went on for so long, and I mean, I know everyone wanted him out towards the end, didn't they? But in terms of the players he brought through and his philosophy and the football they played, everyone respected Arsenal, didn't they?
Well, look, maybe it's the dictator in me, and I think this is a good analogy. Yeah, he was there for too long, but it was a solid foundation in terms of what he had built. Yes, there were things that were going the other way around in terms of the performance of where the team, people wanted the team to win cups and all that stuff. But actually, look at where Arsenal is now. I describe Arsenal almost like, Libya or Iraq, where you had Saddam Hussein and when you had Gaddafi. Okay, fine. There were accusations, and there were, in some instances, evidence that they were brutal to their people. But what they did, they were very solid, and there was unity. At least there was some kind of control in terms of those countries. And all of a sudden, the West get involved, and as soon as the West get involved, what happens? The whole thing just collapses. Libya is no longer the way it was. What's it called? Iraq is no longer the way it was. And that is the best way to describe Arsenal. You remove the dictator, and it takes a while for the country to find its feet. It's trying to find its feet, and it's trying to identify. Yeah, exactly. That's the way I see it.
A good analogy. And now I guess it's Newcastle who are getting used to all of these dictators coming in and the dodgy dealings. So I was going to say, when did it all start with Arsenal?
So I was born. It's interesting enough. I was born in Liverpool, and I went to Liverpool recently. Yeah. So I was for Liverpool up until I probably think the Invisibles. It was the Invisibles. So, and there used to be a running joke that there were some people who were not fans of Arsenal until they became the Invisibles. So it was around that time that I really got into Arsenal. Patrick Vieira, what's his name now? Thierry Henry. I just loved the Invisibles at the time. It was then I fell in love. It wasn't like I was supporting any football team at the time. I'd fallen out of love with Liverpool anyway. So it was always Arsenal because I moved to London. So I was living in London. I was living in, what's it called? Islington. And I always saw the Arsenal boss. I always saw Arsenal. I could hear them chanting. And I just fell in love with it. It seemed to be the in thing at the time to be supporting Arsenal. I mean, who wants to support Spurs? I remember this shitty stadium, the old stadium. I just said, nah, come on. That's for poor people, It's better to support Arsenal rather than Spurs.
All right. So they were on your doorstep.
Yeah.
And that was, so you were kind of, so you grew up in Liverpool. What sort of age were you when you came down to London?
Oh, so the and I talk about this in my new show. So I was born in Liverpool. My parents were geniuses because my father made love to my mom in Nigeria and then gave back. My mom gave back to me in Liverpool. So passport sorted, got British passport straight away. Genius. And I at the age of 5, we had to leave to go back to Nigeria and go on the boat. And I just couldn't remember anything about Liverpool. Actually, when I went back a couple of days ago, I was trying to remember. I could not remember anything about Liverpool.
Changed a lot. It's changed a lot. Yeah,
but
the water.
Yeah, but I was only 5 at the time, so how would I remember?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I could. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So the Invincibles era, that was when you kind of really got into the Gooners.
So yeah, so age 5, and then I went back to Nigeria, and then came back in the mid-80s. Supported Liverpool for a while, and then I got distracted because I had a few challenges in life. And then when I had settled, I just thought, which football team would I want to support? I'm no longer in Liverpool. I don't live in Liverpool. I don't feel connected to Liverpool. I'm in London. I live in Islington. The natural fit was yeah.
All right. And what's been your biggest high supporting Arsenal?
My biggest high, obviously the sorry, I'm trying to get this sorted so I can see you properly. My biggest high would have to be the fact that the Invisibles, just that period was just phenomenal. It was the in thing, and just the fact that they won several cups, it just felt, it was great. It was really great.
All right. Any lows supporting Arsenal? What's been your biggest low?
Oh, wow, look, Arsenal is almost like, at the time Wenger's leadership was no longer working. Oh my God, it felt like, you take a girl out on a date and you think you're doing well, and then you want to then move further and closer to get to know them better, and the date just went haywire. 1 minute Arsenal were leading, and the next minute they've been over. They're not leading, they're losing. Arsenal broke my heart. Arsenal, definitely. I thought I was in a relationship with Arsenal. I thought I was having an affair with Arsenal, and the more they lost, the more brokenhearted I was. And at one point, I just thought, no, this is not mentally okay for me. I need to just switch this off. There's no point, because it was so predictable. I can't take this anymore. This is painful to watch. And Spurs, wow, Chelsea. At one point, Didier Drogba. Every time I heard Didier Drogba was in the team at the time and was going to play against Arsenal, that's it. I knew we were going to lose. I knew. And so I just switched off. I literally just switched off. And I said to myself, I will support Arsenal at a distance, but hello, this is not good for my mental health. It's not good for my mental health.
You have to switch off, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to kind of, have a bit of a breather. Who's been the funniest manager supporting Arsenal? I could think of a couple of candidates.
It would have to be Wenger. I love the fact that when an incident happened on the field, and he would say, "I didn't see it," and up to now, I still remember that, because I have an analogy where comics will see you on stage, and maybe because they don't like your act, or they've seen you before, or they just don't rate you, or whatever it is, you'll be performing with a comic, and you're on the lineup, and then they're not there, or they're there, but they don't want to say anything, and they say, "Oh, no, I didn't see your set." I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is how I saw Wenger. There were incidents happening on the pitch, and he would just say he didn't see it. The fact that he had such rivalry with Jose Mourinho at the time, I wanted to see them actually fight. I know he respected Ferguson, but Mourinho, there was just something not right about their relationship, and it was just so tense. And for me, it's almost like I got the impression that he did not like Mourinho's tactics. As we know, Mourinho was more on the defensive in terms of his tactics on football, but also he did not develop players. He just bought players and brought them and will win trophies. And it's almost like, if you want to describe it, with comedy, it's almost like you've been going for 11 years and you're not on TV, but someone who is so wonderfully liked and, you know, blue eyes, middle class, boom, not even up to 2 years of comedy, is snapped up, is on TV. So yeah, that's one of many reasons why I want to come to your podcast, because I think there are great examples of what happens in football and what happens in comedy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. All right. I mean, he was like the new kid on the block, really, wasn't he? Mourinho.
Yeah, and there was no. It was almost like there was no. The media had no respect for the likes of Wenger and Ferguson. It's as if they wanted this quick and fast-paced success, which didn't last that long, to be honest with you. Because at the end of the day, he had to move. The people who didn't get sacked were the managers who were well respected, who developed their clubs, and you could see football players developing. Yeah, so Wenger would never have been sacked. Ferguson wouldn't have been sacked. But hello, Mourinho, how many times has he been sacked? That just goes to show. Yeah, no matter how successful he was, and where is he today? Yeah, if you think about it, if you had to ask a football fan who isn't Arsenal or Liverpool supporter or whatever, they might be supporters for other teams, who do you respect the most? If you had to just rank them between Ferguson, Wenger, and Mourinho. Yeah, Mourinho is just a flash in the pan as far as I'm concerned. Yes, he had some good people management methods, but you know, it was obvious that he was just buying players who could play football, pack them in, and boom, just let's get this done. It was almost like a quick meat factory, like McDonald's, fast food. That's how it felt.
Yeah, no, I get that. Fast food football.
Yeah.
Any funny fans that you know? Of course, yourself.
Yeah, there are a couple of people. So I don't follow the football like I used to, but I actually more follow the fans. So there's this Nigerian guy who wears a scarf. He's I think he's from the eastern part of Nigeria. He's very, very passionate about Arsenal. And I find that really, really interesting. That even when Arsenal is losing, you can tell that those are the passionate. And he's really funny, just really funny. And I love to see his reaction when Arsenal loses and his reaction when Arsenal wins. I can't remember his name, but he's a Nigerian guy. I'm sure you must know him. The other one that really fascinates me is that this guy, I can't remember his name, who's always interviewing people before and after the match. And yeah, and I can see how these fans get really crazy. It's almost like, and I probably think that if I had continued to support Arsenal, that's how I would have become. I would have become such a very angry football fan. And those fans.
Is this on Arsenal TV?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Very funny. It's very, as far as I'm concerned, it's comedy. It's just literally comedy. And the way they're screaming and screaming like it's the end. This is a matter of life and death. Yeah. You know, like, but it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. COVID is a matter of life and death. Arsenal isn't. Football isn't. If Arsenal loses, you're not going to die. But if you catch COVID and you're not vaccinated, you're likely to fucking die. But people take Arsenal more seriously than COVID. It's like, oh yeah, my life is over because Arsenal has lost. Yeah.
Who's the funniest Arsenal player you can think of?
In the good old, it would have to be. I found Thierry Henry funny. I don't know enough of these young players at the moment. Like I said, I wouldn't say I've switched off. I just look at them at a distance. Yeah. But I like what I see about some of the players that they've got now. But I'm just waiting to see how they develop, because I think the other teams are much, much stronger. I actually see the Arsenal football team more like a like the junior English team who have found themselves in a senior league, and they're still developing. That's how I see them. I don't see them as serious contenders for the Premiership, not like the way Chelsea is or Manchester City. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a few years.
Yeah, maybe in a few years, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So is there anything that you want to plug?
The things I want to plug. So I've got a preview of President Obonjo's show called Stolen, and that's happening in Museum of Comedy on the 9th of December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's happening. Next year, I'll be doing Leicester Comedy Festival. And I got 2 shows, one as myself and the show called Stolen. Yeah, I think that's it, really. I used to do podcasts, but I just gave up. I just gave up doing podcasts. I just gave up doing podcasts. People can find President Obonjo on TikTok, on Twitter. Yeah, they you know, on any social media forum, President Obonjo is there. Yeah, so yeah, I'm developing. Yeah, it's the show. I'm preparing for if I decide to. I'm preparing to go to Edinburgh next year. So I just writing new shows that I'm developing. Yeah.
Great. Exciting stuff. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, Benjamin.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, best of luck for the Presidents, and best of luck for Arsenal for the rest of the season.
Yeah, best in luck. But it shows I'm still trapped in the old Arsenal team, right?
Hopefully you stay up anyway.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to grow up. And then, yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Been a pleasure, mate.